If you're one of those people holding a BILT 1.0 card and debating if you need to convert your card to the Wells Fargo Autograph card or not, this video is for you. Or if you see this video in the future and you're debating whether or not this under the radar card is right for you, keep watching and hopefully you'll learn what you need to know in order to make a decision for your situation. And if you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Kong. I've been deep in the credit card churning game since 2017, and I've learned a thing or two about credit card points, currently sitting on 1 million Amex points for a slight humble brag. So if you want to learn any nuggets of wisdom from me, feel free to subscribe and follow along and let me know what kind of topics you want to know, because while I know a lot about this stuff, I don't know what you want to know, so help me help you. All right, now for the rest of the video, I'm going to stare on my notes so that I stay on track. But a little background first. You've probably seen all the news around the disastrous BILT 2.0 rollout. Thank you for everyone who watched my video. One of the most common questions I get from people is, what do I do about my BILT 1.0 card? Should I cancel it? Should I let it roll over and become an autograph card? And here's my general advice anytime you are thinking about closing a card. There's only 2 questions you need to ask yourself. First question is simple. Is the card bringing you value year after year? If so, keep it. If it's not bringing you value, ask question number 2. Is it an old card or one of the oldest ones in your wallet? Because the one thing you can't really make up for or replace in your credit report is your age of account. So even if the card has minimal value in terms of perks and benefits, if it's old and anchoring your score, you should probably keep it open. Now, the rest of our conversation today will center around a breakdown and overview of the Wells Fargo Autograph Card, so you can decide if it's going to have potential long-term value for you to keep year after year. I'm going to go over basics like the value of its points, the benefits, features, and maybe a brief overview of the kind of person that it's right for. And another snippet for BILT 1.0 people, just so you're aware, if you transition to Wells Fargo, your credit line will stay the same. Your age of account will stay the same, and there's going to be 0 impact to your credit because essentially nothing is changing. There's no new account that has been opened. You still will not pay any annual fee for the base autograph card. And your BILT points are actually safe because they are tied to your BILT loyalty account, which you can manage through their app. You don't need to actually have a card to keep those points, and you can even keep earning some points through other ways outside of owning a BILT 2.0 card. Yeah, so the TLDR is you are losing the ability to earn BILT points going forward if you stick with Wells Fargo. However, there'll be other points you can get, as we'll go over in a little bit, but you're not losing the BILT points you've already earned, and you're not really hurting your credit by keeping the autograph card open. All right, now let's get into the earning structure of the autograph card. I'm going to be honest with you, this was actually an educational experience for me. I admit Wells Fargo was a bit of a blind spot because someone comes from the churning school of thought. We basically focus on the big 4 banks and their points. So after researching for this video, I've actually come to the conclusion that the Wells Fargo Autograph Card is legitimately one of the better no annual fee travel cards on the market. It may be one of the best ones. I need to actually dig into the other ones before I make that comparison. But here's what it earns. 3x unlimited, uncapped on restaurants, travel, gas stations, transit, streaming, and phone plans. So that actually covers a lot of real life categories for most people. If you add groceries to this, it would actually become like a goated card. So it's not quite there, but still pretty solid. The travel categories are pretty broad. Streaming and phone are pretty unique kind of features and categories that not a lot of cards cover. A note about the streaming, while there's not a comprehensive list that anyone has put together, it does seem to be pretty generous and lenient with what it does cover. So if for some reason you stumbled across something that is not earning you 3x, please let the rest of us know in the comments. I know that it's not going to be huge by themselves, each of these categories that we just went over, but if you add them all up, they make up a pretty good portion of most people's monthly expense. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to earn 3x on all of them. Other benefits. The first one is pretty straightforward. No foreign transaction fees. Another one, there is an auto collision waiver. It's secondary, again, which is pretty common. Very few credit cards have primary collision coverage. And this is a unique one here. Cell phone coverage for damage or theft. You can claim it twice a year, up to $600 per claim, and only pay a $25 deductible. And all you have to do is pay your cell phone bill on the autograph card. So this is actually a pretty rare feature. I think it's definitely something you need to take advantage of if you have the card. The take home here is that a lot of these things are standard, right? No foreign transaction fees. It's basically an essential for any traveler. Compared to other mid-level travel cards that do have annual fees, I think the features actually stack up pretty well. Now let's get into the transfer partners, because if you didn't know, the best way to use your travel points for travel is going to be transferring them to partner airlines and hotels instead of redeeming them through cash or going through the travel portal of whatever bank you're with. So just as a quick note, if you do want to cash out, I was relieved to learn that Wells Fargo actually lets you do that at a pretty easy 1-to-1 ratio. So that is a plus if you want to treat the autograph as a pure cashback card. But getting back to travel, I think a lot of people may dismiss this list here on the screen when you compare it to other banks. And that's true. Like I did the same thing when I first glanced at it, but there's enough here to make it worth your while if you learn to do a few things. So let's go over the airlines. You're going to be frustrated you may not see any major domestic carriers, but you still have access to them if you utilize the right alliance partner. For instance, British Airways and Iberia can help you book American Airlines, Virgin Atlantic and Air France can help you book Delta, and then Life Miles can help you book United. As for hotels, you are limited to one choice, and that is Choice Hotels. It's mostly limited to entry and mid-level properties. However, you get 2 choice points for every 1 Wells Fargo point, and that is key because from my research, it basically puts it on a similar level as the value you get from Hyatt hotels, which a lot of us fanboys rave about when it comes to transferring points from Chase or BILT. And just a few highlights about some of these partners to keep in mind so you can get an idea of what kind of value you can get or how many points it costs. JetBlue, I personally love it. It's my preferred way to get to New York City, which is pretty much like an annual thing for me at this point. So if they have a route coming out of your city, it's going to be good value. You can probably get one way for about 8,000 points, sometimes less. And I think 8,000 in general is kind of a good rule of thumb to have when you are talking about booking for domestic flights through Air France, British Airways, and Life Miles too. Air France, they actually have monthly promo rewards, usually at the first of the month, where you can save a good portion if you book that day. And you can get great business class deals for around 60,000 points or less one way. With British Airways, you have access to Avios, and you can book the fabled Q suites for 70,000 points one way. Yes, I know 70,000 is a lot for one way. That's actually kind of the standard for business class travel with points if you weren't aware. I'm just letting you know what's possible. Choice Hotels, I went and found 2 great articles highlighting some sweet spot redemptions. I put them in the links below from Frequent Miler and Upgraded with Points. There are fantastic ones in Europe, domestic options certainly as well. And I even found some myself on the big cities in Japan like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka for 10,000 points a night, which is a steal because that only requires 5,000 Wells Fargo points. Now, mind you, the best part of all these transfer partners is the fact that you can transfer in the first place, right? Especially compared to mid-level travel cards that do have an annual fee like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, City Premier, Capital One Venture. So is the Wells Fargo lineup as robust as Chase, Amex, or BILT? No, certainly not. However, there is value to be had nonetheless. As for the bottom line, hopefully everything that I've gone over has helped you become more informed about whether or not the autograph card is right for you or has a place in your wallet. But in a nutshell, I'm going to go over the types of people it may be right for. Person number 1 is for people who want to keep it simple. Stick to one program. You don't want to jump through the hassles of juggling multiple cards. Person number 2, if you are someone who doesn't want to pay an annual fee for whatever reason, but you still want decent benefits and transfer partners. And person number 3, you are someone who wants the flexibility to easily switch between cashback and travel on the same card at any given time based on the changing needs of your life and your situations. So whether you're transitioning from BILT 1.0 or you're just looking for a general travel card to use in the future, the autograph would definitely be one to consider. And if you found any of this useful, please feel free to like and subscribe. It does a huge deal for me as a super small channel. And the best free way to support me is by going through the Amazon affiliate links. You do not need to buy anything that I have in my storefront. You can buy literally anything on Amazon as long as you start from there. And whatever you buy in the first 24 hours, I will get a credit and commission for that. So thank you in advance for the pennies that are coming my way from your purchase. And if you want to talk more about credit cards in the future, get my help on coming up with a roadmap or game plan for whatever future cards you should get to hopefully become a points millionaire too, feel free to reach out and book a call. I look forward to talking to you and see you next time.